Europe shifts the burden of bank failures. Hello and welcome to the Deal Report. I'm Jeff Kanige. Remember Cyprus? For a few weeks earlier this year, the tiny Mediterranean nation displaced Greece as the embodiment of the European debt crisis. With its banks struggling under the weight of bad loans, the government looked to the European Union, the International Monetary Fund, and the European Central Bank for help. This so-called troika came up with a rescue plan that involved the infusion of 10 billion euros and a tax on all deposits in Cypriot banks. Deposits were not amused, and they took to the streets. The resulting unrest eventually forced rescuers to change the terms of the deal to leave most of the deposits alone. But the outrage generated by the original plan was hard to forget. So when the EU set out to put together a new way to deal with failing banks, making the little guy pay was not high on the agenda. And in fact, as the deal's Rene Cortis reports, the new rules would put shareholders and creditors at the front of the line to help lenders in trouble. Under the plan, they would be the first groups hit by losses at failing banks. Depositors only come into the picture after the shareholders and creditors have done what they can. And then only large depositors or individuals with more than 100,000 euros would be on the block. There's also a layer of protection for taxpayers. Each of the 28 EU nations will be required to set up a national fund, built up by contributions from the banks themselves. The total collected across the continent will eventually reach 70 billion euros. So losses would have to get pretty bad before the governments would step in with public money. EU officials are calling this process a bail-in as opposed to a bail-out, which is a dirty word in most parts of the world. Still, there has to be a better expression. Bail-in sounds like filling a sinking boat with water. Not the image you're looking for here. What you want is something that signifies traditional European values, strength, stability, fair competition, something to inspire enduring faith in your fellow citizens. Give it some thought. In New York, this is Jeff Kanige for The Deal.